In this video, I will show you how to draw this door in Rome from start to finish. So, let's start with materials I'll be using. I will use Burnt Umber, raw Sienna, Naples Yellow, Sepia, Black, Coral, Red Ochre, Titanium Buff, Olive Green. For the ink outlines, I'll be using Chinese black ink, and for the highlights, white gouache. You can get a reference photo on my Instagram, or if you don't want to sketch it by yourself, then you can also get the outline on my coffee shop, or if you become my Patreon. I will leave the links in the description. So first I made the frame and key lines with the ruler, measured the reference photo and draw the main lines for doors, walls, etc. Then I went with freehand sketching. I want the plants to come out of the frame, so I will make the palm on the left and the flowery plant on the right, and they will in some places be in the frame and in some places outside the frame. For the door's upper part, I just draw half a circle, then go into the details. So you need to observe how all those swirls are in the photo, and then just recreate them. If you are having trouble, remember eraser is your best friend, or you can make the swirls abstract and just do some scribbles in there. And once I'm done with the sketch, I will start outlining all the lines. now that the sketch is done, I will use dip pen and ink, which is water resistant, because I will use the watercolors later, so I don't want it to run all over the page. You can use waterproof fine liners if you want. Lately I have been using the ink with dip pen because I love the calm drawing process with it. So with this ink you need to remember that it will need time to dry, and as I draw with right hand, I will start drawing from top left corner and go to the right side, so I don't accidentally smudge the ink. And then I just dip the pen and start outlining, and I keep in mind what I want to go on top, so I don't draw some lines behind, like palm leaves on top of the frame. For the door, you will later see me adding some dimensions to those swirls, and with few lines it just looks so different and good. And when I am happy with the first outlines, then I erase, but keep in mind, let it completely dry if you use dip ink, and then I will go in and do some dots and little lines to give some texture in the drawing, and then the coloring can start. But yes, again, we need to let the ink dry first. Now let's color. I am using round brush size 11, synthetic round brush, but use any brush you feel comfortable with. First, I will use Naples Yellow for the wall. I color all the wall, also that little part at the door, but I try not to color over the plants or anything else. While the wall is drying, I am adding Naples Yellow in the middle of each of the door windows, and then on the sides, olive green, and with clean wet brush, I am blending them together. And then you can add some drops of each color here and there. I want this drawing to be very warm looking. If you don't, then use some kind of bluish or grey color for the windows. And let's continue with olive green. So I'm using the olive green for all the leaf plants, like the palm and those leaves at the bottom of the palm and the leaves on the right side. Now for the tree trunk, I am using Burnt Umber, and also I will use the same color for the other side plant, the tree trunk, as you can see here. Both of the flower pots I am coloring with red ochre, and I mixed in a little bit of Naples Yellow to give this warm feeling, warm undernotes. And I am not coloring it all, I leave a white spot where I want the sun to shine, so the sun will be on the right side. And then with clean wet brush I blend the color into the white paper, and then also darken the left side with more color. And don't forget to do the same on the left side. For the little flowers I am using the coral color, and just add the color in the flower petals. Now the ground I am coloring in with titanium buff, and I also add a bit of Naples Yellow in some spots. And then with clean wet brush I blend the colors together. So I mixed titanium buff with Naples Yellow, and I used it for the one stair, and then I also add a bit of sepia to darken some parts, like under that one stair, like one step. For the door, I am using the black, but I want the first layer to be more like grey, so it's lighter, and I have watered down the black color. And here I am adding a bit more dimension to this piece. I will remember where the sun is, so it's on the right, so the shadows or darker parts will be on the left. And I will do the same thing for all three those things that are left. Now the inside swirls, I just color in. I don't do anything special for them. I mixed a bit of sepia with olive green, and I will darken some of the leaves, like under the leaves where they are folded, and some of the leaves that are more far away. If you want them to be more green, then you can use any darker green color. I just want this drawing to be really warm, so I mixed the sepia to make like darker green. And here I go over with another layer of red ochre on both of the pots, because I thought they look too bright on the left side. Now I am adding even more dimension to the door. So now this time I'm using more opaque layer of black, and I really am thinking of where the shadows are. So on the left side in this door embellishment, and then also the vertical lines on the doors, I make the left side on them a bit darker, because I don't know, I want them to look dimensional. Now here I am adding sepia mixed with tiny bit of titanium buff under that step, because I want it to be super dark, because it's like under the step. Then I will also color in the stones with this same color, because I want them to like stand out from the ground. Now for the shadows on the wall. As the wall is like Naples Yellow, it's really light color. I will be using raw sienna to make shadows. So if the sun is on the right, the shadows will be on the left. So I am coloring in that, you know, this part next to the door. I am coloring it in with raw sienna. And we can't forget about the shadow that the flower pot is making. And I am using sepia to draw it in. So it will go over that step, also ground and step, and a little bit on the wall, but for that I will use raw sienna. And then with raw sienna I will go and make shadows from the leaves, from the tree trunks and flowers, so like go over all the drawing and where you think the shadow should be, draw it. Or if you don't want there to be any shadow, don't draw them. It's your drawing, it's your choice. I just like the shadows to be there. It makes the drawing look more interesting, in my opinion. I am adding little dots on the ground with olive green and coral because I want them to look like some parts of the leaves have fallen down and also from the flowers. So the shadows that are in the doors from those swirls, I am drawing with a tiny bit of black mixed with the olive green because I don't know, I didn't want the shadows to be like only grey, but with a little bit of green undertone. So I am making the shadows from all the swirls, and also don't forget the big shadow that the wall is making on the door. So yeah, go over all the doors with this mix, color mix, or different color mix if you want. So almost the last thing I am doing is drawing the highlights. I am drawing with white gouache because it looks more opaque and I love how it looks over the watercolor. But you can also use white ink or white jelly roll pen. They also work great. And remember, the sun is on the right, so I am highlighting everything that is like the right side of the leaves, the right side of the pot. Like everything, I am making little lines and dots with the white gouache. After the highlights, I will add splatters with all the colors from the palette. Not all, raw sienna, coral and olive green. So I just splattered them all around and this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thanks for watching and bye!